Well, you have seen the title. Welcome to the Italian goddess, Alfa Romeo GIULIA QUADRIFOGLIO. Yes, it is this mad machine with 510 horsepower. Without further ado, I say, let's hop in, let's get out of here, and let's make some noise. Well, it's the time to launch this Italian goddess. So, the declared 0 to 100 is only 3.9 seconds, but I believe this has been measured in the race mode. Now, the race mode is not legal on the street, so I'm just going to pop you into dynamic mode. As we know, YouTube is full of police officers, and I'd like to maintain both my freedom and my sanity. So, off we go. Foot on the brake, foot on the throttle. Let's warm you up a little bit, and off we go. Oh, I've lost traction there. All-wheel drive system, where are you when I need you? But anyway, well, it's not so bad actually. Well, 4.76. That start wasn't great, was it? It was a little bit embarrassing, in fact. But anyway, the top speed is 307 kilometers an hour. So as with the Germans, you've got usually 250 or 280. You know, the Italians, they just let you fly. Well, it's the Germans, let's chop your wings. But the Italians gave you the freedom, the liberty to do what you're supposed to do in a car like this. Well, shouldn't really be talking about top figures, should I? 476. Is it gonna take away my joy? Oh no, absolutely not. This thing is a bloody rocket. And I absolutely love it. I really promised myself not to get excited. I knew I'm gonna get excited with GIULIA QUADRIFOGLIO, because how could you not get excited? I think if you don't get excited in a car like this, you're dead. You're really dead. Love it.
Do what you do. You know that all I think about is you.
So when you drive this car in natural or all-weather mode, it's not a soft pitch, and the regular GIULIA is more comfortable, but it is actually surprisingly comfortable. Then again, it all depends what you're used to. If you're used to a fluffy Lexus and you're not prepared to make a change, then forget about it, because your bum will hurt and it will cry, because you do feel bumps and imperfections in this car. But if we're talking BMW M, we're talking firmness of the suspension, and we're talking similarities. Now this, combined with space you're getting in this car, is what makes it actually a reasonably practical family saloon.
I want you to stay with me. When you're with me, I can't breathe.
All right, let's have a look what we've got under the bonnet. A bit of a glory, if you ask me. 2.9 litre V6 bi-turbo petrol engine, which pumps 510 horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque. And all of the power is being sent to the rear wheels. Oh yes. And that's that. Enough about the numbers under the bonnet. It's time to put these numbers to test. So some people might look at this car and say, it's another sporty family saloon. And it certainly does appear to be a little bit less intimidating than a hardcore racetrack car that's sitting lower, that's smaller, that's wider. But think again. I mean, we do have 510 horsepower, but numbers are just numbers. They're utterly useless unless you're prepared to do something with these numbers. And oh boy, Alfa Romeo has done more than plenty. We've got ideal weight distribution 50-50. And handling in this car is out of this world. I mean, it handles like a dream. I just pushed it gently, yeah, and I can already feel how playful the rear is. And I know it's just a warm-up. I've got some wiggle room to play with my steering. But let me tell you, as soon as you pop this car into race mode or dynamic mode, the steering is unforgiving. It leaves no room for error. So when you push it hard, you better know what you're doing, because I promise you, you will wrap your teeth around the very next tree. Well, we have warmed up a little bit, I reckon we have graduated to dynamic mode. For Dan. Jesus Christ! Goodness gracious me! Well, that was exciting, most certainly. So when you push this car hard, you start to wonder, when is it gonna give up? Will it give up? Here's my answer: never ever. Because this car just wants more. It does not slow down. I mean, it slows down. Look, full stop, brakes. These are good. The only creature giving up will be somebody who's perhaps a little bit too confident and not competent enough, because you'll be doing it in your pants out of fear before this car considers slowing down a little bit. Alright, let's check the boot space. So we've got 480 litres of space, which is identical to the Mercedes C-Class or BMW 3 Series. Reasonably easy access, and that is enough about the boots. So I know, as soon as you hop into this car, you're feeling all cocky and brave, and you want to put this car straight into race mode, which technically is actually not legal on the street. But I'm not here to lecture you. But this car in race mode, in snow, you're dead. This car in race mode in rain is a bit like a Russian roulette. You know what's always present in Russian roulette? Is that thrill, that excitement, that fire. But you know what's never present in Russian roulette? Is the certainty about the finishing line. Some like it, some dislike it. You've got to answer this question yourself. This car in the dynamic mode is mental. This car in race mode is psychopathic. But you know, in a good way, not like a partner at home. Because actually, if you know what you're doing here, it's quite predictable. Unlike at home, where you don't know what's around the corner, literally. So, sound and safe, if you know your stuff. Okay, and what about being a passenger in Giulia Quadrifoglio? So I have adjusted this seat for my height, which is just over 1.7 meters, 5'7", and I've got plenty of legroom, very good headroom. You actually have more space in the back here than in Mercedes C63 AMG. How about that, you Germans? What about the middle seat? Well, you've got this big hump in here, and it doesn't quite work, but let's be honest, this is a supercar with the practicality of a saloon, and this is pretty good.
Laying down my cards on the table.
Just to give you an idea how this car feels for a person who's not used to fast cars. So yesterday, my best friend was helping me with logistics. We had to shift a few cars here and there. Now, she loves the look and the sound of Giulia, so she's asked me, Anna, will you let me have a spin? I said, of course I will let you have a spin, but just be careful, it's a very sharp and fast car. Oh yeah, I'll definitely take it easy. So anyway, I thought I'm going to be the leading car on a motorway, just to keep the speed down a little bit. So I hop in, she hops in, Giulia behind me. 1 minute later, I look in the mirror and I see her pulling over on the motorway and putting hazard lights on. I'm thinking, what on earth is happening? She's having a heart attack. But oh no! I look, she gets out of the car on the motorway. Later, she told me that the lanes, they were very wide. Yes, typical woman finding excuses everywhere. Anyway, I call her. I don't want to get out of the car on the motorway. I said, what on earth are you doing, woman? You're on the motorway. Anna, I just lightly brushed and accelerated. This thing is mental. It wants to literally fly. I said, well, you know, just take it easy. I talk her through it. She settles down. I'm a good therapist. I did learn that I mistakenly have left this car in the dynamic mode, so that wasn't clever of me, was it? Anyway, I talk her through it, and 10 minutes later we arrive safely in two pieces at home. Moral of the story is, do not judge the book by its cover, and safe to say, this vehicle is neither for timid nor shy. Anyway, fun and games aside, let's talk about the cabin. So the quality of the materials, the fit and finish is simply glorious. The cabin has got so much Italian character. The leather is so incredibly soft. Anyway, let's not get distracted. I do like this color combination, ivory together with black and white and green stitching. A blend that looks both sporty and elegant. A blend that's actually quite hard to achieve. I do like that. Lovely steering wheel. You've got the Alcantara bits just on the inside where your hands are touching, so in case your hands are sweaty, you don't slip and slide. Believe me, the steering here is so sharp, you don't want this to happen. You've got the shortcut buttons in here, clean and simple layout, I like that. Start and stop button here, just like in a supercar. Of course, aluminum paddle shifters. I mean, what else? You don't want just plasticky paddle shifters. Some brands do that, that's really cheap, awful. So anyway, not here. Beautiful carbon pieces running across the cabin. They just add so much flavor, so much. Stop stroking the materials, Anna. Stop doing it. Anyway, on to practicality. So let's try to fit a large bottle of water inside pockets. No can do. The pocket here is reasonably small, but can do right here and here, so that's easy. Alrighty, you actually have quite a bit of space in here, so reasonably large pocket. You've got wireless mobile charging, and you can hide your phone so that nobody sees your dark secrets. Who's texting you? What are they texting you? And if you don't have dark secrets, who doesn't these days? You have a shelf right here, so that's lovely. Okie dokie. Now the buttons here, the layout is actually very simple. Nothing is complicated. I do like it. So look at this beautifully integrated touch screen. It's just like a part of the car. Remember, some car manufacturers do this. Plonk. And here's your infotainment system. But anyway, they have rectified it all. Most of them, I think. So, okay, touch screen. This is the updated, I think they've updated it last year or something like that, yeah. So let's have a look at the graphics. Actually, it's pretty good. I mean, this is not a high-tech infotainment system, that's super intuitive. That's got a voice command. Let me tell you, there isn't any system on the market that's perfect in all segments now. The Germans, they're beautiful infotainment systems, and I dare to say they're better than this one. But for example, the voice command is absolutely rubbish, so anyway, who cares? Here it's all about the driving, but the infotainment system, you know, it's not bad. It is functional, it is quick. You can plug in your iPhone to get the Apple CarPlay or to get Android Auto, so that's lovely. You can operate it with your finger, of course. It's a touch screen. It's pretty quick as well, and it's semi-matte actually. As you can see, you can hardly see the finger marks, which are awful. Some cars are just Windex. Remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Yeah, that's me with those screens. But you can also operate the system using the swivel down here, which I find is much better because it's far less distracting. You just cruise, and if you can call cruising in the car, and just do all the things you need to do. Lovely, so that's perfect. Sorted. Practicality, tick. Also, little Italian flag, I like that. Last but not least are these seats. Now they're actually quite soft and very, very comfy. Beautiful seats for long distance cruising. Believe it or not, this car is actually decent long distance cruiser. I mean, the visibility isn't that great, but hi, you know, you can't have it all in life. But these seats are also good for all the things you know you're gonna do in this car. So that's it about the cabin. I think it's such a lovely cabin, actually. Yeah, I like that. And actually, I don't mind black for the first time.
Right next to you, I'm losing my cool.
Absolutely brilliant. This engine is the sort of gift that keeps on giving. It is absolutely marvelous. This is a masterpiece. It revs like hell. You really do feel like you're in a Ferrari. Well, actually, this is a Ferrari engine. A fact that Alfa Romeo does not want you to know. I don't know why. Anyway, some people said to me, Anna, but you should be having an interview with a mechanic because he will be the one spending the vast majority of time with this car. Really, that's just silly and very much exaggerated. Let me tell you, if you want the greatest certainty the car won't break, just get yourself a German car. I mean, there's no certainty, but probably as good as it gets. Now, you don't want to get a German car because you're not going to get the flair, the flavor, and so much more that you're getting here. My point exactly. Let me tell you, it's like a beautiful woman who is driven, ambitious, wants to please you every time you're with her. I mean, she's not going to be available for you 24 hours a day, will she? No chance. She needs to do a few checks here and there to make sure she's in tip-top condition. Point taken? I think so.
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still.
We've got 8-speed automatic transmission, which is simply superb. The gear change is quick, it is smooth. This gearbox does not ponder, it does not wonder, it just gets on with the job. And if that's not good enough for you, you of course have the wonderful aluminium paddle shifters, which by the way are plenty of fun. Now, some say that this is not a proper sports car, it needs a manual gearbox. Really? Let me tell you, smart ass, it is very likely that this gearbox is going to be quicker than you. I personally think a manual gearbox does not suit this car at all. It just takes away the purpose of being a practical saloon. I mean, imagine, sitting in traffic with 510 horsepower going to your ass. Excuse my language. I mean, this is just a pure self-inflicted injury. And I'm not going to get into this subject, am I? No. So, automatic gearbox, absolutely brilliant.
I used to be satisfied.
So the declared fuel economy is 8.9 litres. In the real world, however, we're looking at about 12 litres. And when you push this car a little bit harder, 15, 16, 17, just goes up and up. But you don't really buy this car to save on fuel, of course not. On to sound. So the standard setup is pretty good. But when you're stationary and you want to show off by revving your car, you might be left a little bit disappointed because it's on the quiet side. But once the rubber hits the road, it does sound marvelous. But when you buy this sort of a car, you want to sound marvelous at all points in time. So here's your solution, which is really the cherry on the cake, the Akrapovic exhaust, a product that I have with me today. I mean, this thing, it is absolutely, utterly beautiful, this thing. Even my camera has moved. Fantastic. Some people say that the direct competition of Giulia Quadrifoglio is Mercedes C63 AMG, BMW M3. I disagree completely. These two are magnificent cars with plenty of style, substance, and amazing performance, but they are a different breed. There's no car at this price point that's going to give you so much excitement. It's going to keep you so engaged, entertained, thrilled every single second behind the wheel. This really is a supercar with the practicality of a saloon. Funny enough, it starts from just £69,000 in the UK. My gut feel is that it won't last forever. And when it's gone, don't whinge and complain that all the warning signs weren't there. Imagine life without cars like this. It would be so, so sad. But anyway, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Bye. I must go. Well, let's have a look what we've got. We won't look. We won't look because Madam doesn't know how to open the bonnet. Okay, and what about being a passenger in this? 5.32. That's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing, I do believe.